Pass rusher Jadeveon Clowney. Varying reports here. One that he planned to sign as one-year franchise tender and report to the team this week until he found out the Texans had plans to trade him. Another that Clowney met with Dolphins coach Brian Flores, though he may actually prefer a contender. So is Clowney worth a potential trade and big contract? Though by some measures, no. If you're looking at traditional numbers, Clowney's career stats aren't even close to J.J. Watt, who probably sets the bar for top pass rushers. But a deeper look at Clowney's impact tells a different story. He had the third highest pass rush win rate in the NFL last season, beating his block 36% of the time. That, according to ESPN pass rush metrics, using NFL next-gen stats. Watt beat his block 27% of the time. But I think you'd rather have the combo package, you know, the
Sure.
Clowney and Watt together is what really makes it sing. But before we kind of get to that part, you know, Adam Schefter keeps referring to the Clowney thing is complicated.
Yes.
Why is it so complicated?
So he has not yet signed his franchise tag tender. And if he were to be traded, he would have to sign that first. Now, a team acquiring Jadeveon Clowney could not extend him beyond the 2019 season until after this season is over. It's a one-year arrangement for right now. The money is $15.67 million heading towards Jadeveon Clowney. Now, they could negotiate that salary up a little bit for this year, but that's very, very uncommon. So if you're a team acquiring Jadeveon Clowney, you're taking on a player who, at the end of this year, may not want to be with you and could hypothetically test free agency if you're unwilling to double tag Jadeveon Clowney. And there are question marks about how much you're going to have to pay. Houston's not simply going to just hand him off like a quarterback to a running back with a football. He's a valuable player for them, and ultimately, as you said, they want their combo package, too, of Watt, Clowney, and the rest of that very good defensive front seven.
How do you think they're looking with him, without him?
Well, they have their leaders. You know, they have Merciless, who's a great player as well. J.J. Watt, we all know J.J. Watt's a terrific player. You know, I think it's tough when you're not there for camp and you're not there to build the team, so to speak. And when you're not going through the process of training camp and you come in week one, like, it's hard to come in week one and just play because there's kind of a groove going on right now. The defense, they're learning from each other. They're playing together. They're talking to each other, communicating. So, you know, I think that when you're the Texans, there's a reason why maybe they're not paying him. They don't have a cap issue,
right?
You know, so there's some reason maybe it could be potential injury, and they have been with him for a long time now, so they know work ethic. They know how he has dealt with injuries or what his future couple of years look like with some of the injuries that he has had in the past. So with that knowledge, if I'm another team, I'm like, okay, hold up. This guy's a really good player. Why is there an issue? Why? So, you know, that would be my biggest question, why? And I think the team right now, the defense, they're doing okay right now. They have leaders there that have been there that are the playmakers. So to lose a guy, yeah, sure, you want three guys on the field that are big pass rushers, but they still have a lot of production there.
Bill O'Brien said yesterday in his press conference, we have other pass rushers.
Yep.
Are you buying that, though?
Yeah, I am.
Okay.
Because if you have two guys like Whitney Merciless and J.J. Watt, those two guys alone, if you put them on one side, they're going to be good players for you. And you need two other guys, maybe one, that could jump in there.
But when you look at Jadeveon Clowney and what he brings to the table, there aren't many guys that have his skill set out there in the league. Obviously, he's versatile. He can play inside, interior defensive line, as well as outside. So the fact that he's that versatile to that team, losing him will be highly impactful. I think you're right, though. The question is, why haven't they paid him, right?
But here's my thing, too. If you are going to make the money that he wants to make, you have to be disruptive every play. A Mac, a Donald, right?
Well, because he wants to be paid like them, so yes.
If you want to be the guy,
yes,
you have to beat everybody, and you have to be disruptive, and you have to change game plans, and you have to, hey, guess what? We got to go split back. We got to chip this guy, because if we don't, it's a sack.
But he is a guy that you have to account for. He's a guy that you circle on the list on Wednesdays.
Does he change game plans?
Yes, because it's him and J.J. Watt out there together. You have to account for both.
Is it J.J. or is it him that's changing
both of them together,
okay.
I feel like.
Them
two together
now.
changes that defensive line. Merciless, he's a great player, but he's older in his years. He's not as young as Jadeveon Clowney, and he doesn't have as much upside as Jadeveon does right now in this moment. So I guess the question is, why won't the Texans pay him? They've been with him for the long haul. Why are they dragging their feet in terms of extending him long term?
Well, certainly something to keep an eye on. I mean, as you guys have said, they've got 5 years of exposure and familiarity to Jadeveon Clowney, and since his rookie year, they know the injury history. I think what's really fascinating here, because you just posed this question, is Do they have enough pass rush? Bill O'Brien says they're fine. Are they? Here's where I can buy it, especially, is if they turn Jadeveon Clowney into something they could really use right now. Because if you look at this roster, it is very good in a lot of spots, including an outstanding young quarterback. Who's protecting him right now? Huge questions along the offensive line. And who's carrying the football?
Right.
Duke Johnson is now their workhorse. And Duke Johnson's never had more
than an injury at running back recently.
104 rushing attempts for Duke Johnson is the single season high. After Lamar Miller's injury, if you can turn Jadeveon Clowney into a couple of pieces, picks are nice, but Texans don't have
right now.
They don't need to worry about 2020. They need to worry about right now because that division, they won it last year, and in case you missed it because you've been under rock for the past week, it's wide open again with Andrew Luck's retirement.